vlog, and today I'm going to be taking you with me on an experience of In Goop Health, which is a wellness summit that was created by Gwyneth Paltrow. So included in the ticket price, you get Lululemon leggings that are black. I've never owned Lululemon. I hear people talk about it. Feels pretty good. And then you get this bag that says In Goop Health. You get some house slippers. I really liked about this wellness summit was that there was so many vegan options to try out, and there was always food available. You could take as much food as you want and try just about, there was so many things to try. It was wonderful. There was all kinds of juices and elixirs and like wellness shots that you can take, and you could take, like I said, as much as you want. And desserts, there was amazing vegan ice cream. For those of you who can't eat dairy or don't want to eat dairy, you gotta try, it's called Wanderlust, and they make amazing ice cream.
Like some Goop below?
Oh yes, thank you. Whoa.
Yeah, just sweetened with honey and maple syrup.
Finding, 15, even 10 or 15 minutes a day to get centered and into your body. And breathwork is such an amazing way to do that.
That's where the gold lies, is looking at the obstructions, the blocks, the limitations that invariably, in my vernacular, they all exist in language. That I'm not something, I can't do something. But just through that silly little demonstration, I hope you see that creativity is happening constantly. You can't not create. So really the investigation is to see where have you inherited or created beliefs to the contrary.
So in July of this year, there will be a study that will come out for the first time showing that creativity uses, I think to your point, a lot of control pathways and at the same time letting go pathways. And it's this balance of focus and unfocus.
Self-acceptance, I think, is one of the biggest obstacles any human being could probably overcome. None of us are perfect, and I would actually assert if you're trying to be, please stop, because you'll have no one to relate to. And so, my athletes that I work with, they are of course going to fall short many times, they're going to fail, but they have a degree of self-acceptance that allows them to stay committed to whatever it is that they want to create. So that would be one of the common themes, is embracing humanity, recognizing that if you're going to be accomplished at anything, regardless of whether it's sports, business, family, that you are going to F up, and can you embrace that? Can you accept that as part of the journey and still remain committed to what you want? I think most people give up too quickly because of failure versus recognizing you actually got closer to success.
And dust cookies with that super healthy dust stuff. Watermelon tonic moon juice. Tastes like cucumber more than watermelon. It's okay, it feels like a refreshing drink though, actually. I mean, the dust that they put in here, it was beauty dust. I think by itself it's kind of intense, but actually like this, I could probably chug it.
Chapter on being plant-based in my next book that's coming out in January, and living the Fab4 lifestyle. So the Fab4 is protein, fat, fiber, and greens. An example of a plant-based day might be, for example, you're using a pea-based protein powder, you're using a fat like an almond butter or an avocado, flax for fiber, and leafy greens in your shake in the morning. And then a lunch might be lentils over a salad. That sounds divine. And then dinner might be a big, sheet pan of roasted veggies with my either pepita or watermelon seed hummus. I think fat is a really great way to keep you full. It doubles the production of your satiety hormones. So I think whenever I'm working with someone who is plant-based, I really want them to embrace that healthy fat as a way to elongate their blood sugar curve and stay full.
The short answer is that no, edamame I would not put into the same bucket as the processed soy. So processed soy is most times soy that you don't even know you're eating. I'm not just talking about soy, let's say patties that you might be aware you're having processed soy. I'm talking about like a bread you might be even having. That's some whole wheat bread that you don't even know has processed soy in it. Or some protein bar that you don't even know has soy isolate protein in it. That type of soy is the soy that is most connected to all of the negative effects.
It's a water bottle with a crystal in it.
What do you do that? You mix it with water?
You can mix with water.
I knew I needed a good word latte.
A sugar latte. You were wearing it with your white pants, and is it kind of like a gauzy fabric?
I think maybe many trans folk have this experience where you're constantly having to defend yourself in a world that's telling you that you're, illegitimate, that you're not real, that you must be confused. And I think what's so interesting to me I think that trans folk actually have to fight for their gender and their identity more than most people have to, because everyone just takes it for granted. Your sexuality is who you go to bed with. Your gender is who you go to bed as.
Okay.
Turning that up internally in my own voice of what I know, the whispers within myself, to try to get that to come out. So I think it's a lot to listen to yourself and to come
Extraordinary.
Yeah, to listen to yourself, not just as a young person, but any of us, and to say that what I and who I know myself to be is truth. And that though there's science, and there's doctors, and there's parents, and there's teachers, and there's everyone around you, a chorus of voices that are telling you no, 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 no. And you say no, yes, yes, this is how it is.
Yeah, it was hard. I didn't, really at the height of things, I actually didn't work that much. I worked maybe once, I think it turned out to be maybe twice every 3 years, something like that. So I was lucky. But I don't, and also there was an ethos at the time, I don't really even know if it still existed, that having it all is something that you actually want. Because I didn't feel like having it all and being really busy and being a mom and checking all the boxes was all that satisfying. Is your actual time to imagine it's imagineering, I guess.
And again, I think it's such a female quality, daydreaming and
Yes.
being fluid and
Yeah.
tapping into the flow. And
Yeah.
I think it's hard for a lot of us who
We have lists and we
Yeah.
have to go. But this thing about letting there be this little window,
Some of the things that I took away from this event was people were really kind to each other. Not just the staff, but just people in general. I got to meet so many different types of women and all kinds of different types of people of different professions and things like that. And people were so friendly. It was like we're all one big sisterhood, and we're all just hanging out, and it was really, really cool. Another thing that I noticed is that I've been to wellness retreats, and wellness workshops, seminars, so on, things like that. And I've always noticed that there's like a lot of energy, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it could be really draining. At the end of the day, I would be exhausted. Like Wanderlust, I love Wanderlust, but at the end of each day, I would be done, and I can only do like maybe 2 or 3 classes in one day. So even though there's so many fun things, you're just really exhausted, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way too. So even though I'm sick and I'm getting over a cold, I found that just by eating well and relaxing and being in a relaxing setting and just being like pampered, it really made me feel better, like physically and just like emotionally. Like, oh, it's like a treat yourself day. There was massages. I got I got a foot massage and a scalp massage, and they massaged my face with some kind of collagen stuff that smelled kind of like plastic, but I guess it's really good for your face. That was really relaxing. I got my nails done. Like, I never get my nails done, so it was kind of cool, and the lady was really, really nice. They also have like different teachers and workshops going on during the summit. So if you don't want to go to a panel, there's other things that you could go to. I went to one that had Reiki and meditation together. That was really fun. And then they had one that had to do with nourishing your soul, nourishing each other, and being kind to each other. So that was really cool too. I got to hear Gwyneth Paltrow speak, and she's a very eloquent speaker. And one takeaway that I have from that is that I know some people think like, oh, well, this must be a very uppity event because of who she is and what kind of things they're doing. But what I've learned is that if you have that mindset, you're gonna find it. My intention was to have fun, to feel relaxed and feel refreshed, and I totally got all of that. All of the teachers were really kind and really genuinely there to help you with whatever it is that they were teaching. And I felt I felt very supported in whatever we were learning. And you know, one thing I learned too is like I think Gwyneth Paltrow is cool. I mean, it's not like I'm not star crazy about her or anything like that. And when I saw her in person speak, and I was just like, you know what? She's just a person. I'm just a person. We're all people, and we're all here to have a good time and to learn and grow. And what I learned is like, but I do put certain people on a pedestal. Like when I saw Raw Christina at a book signing, and she was talking about how she became a raw vegan, I could not even talk. Like, I couldn't even talk to her. And like, this is someone that I really enjoyed watching her videos and learning about how to eat as a vegan, as a raw vegan. And I couldn't even talk to her. And it's like, you know what? There's no need to put anybody on pedestals. We are all people, and we're all doing the best we can. And yeah, we're all human, so there's no need to say like, oh, this person's over here. No, we're all cool. We all got our cool thing going on. So that's the takeaway I got. So here's some top things that I got from each of the panels. So for the panel about creativity is that it is in our nature to create. And even by saying that we cannot create, we still are creating, whether it's constructs that keep us in or so on. So if you're feeling anxiety, circa is what you should keep in mind. So chunk down tasks, break them up into pieces. I is ignore mental chatter, meaning like being more mindful. R is reality check. Check in on your self-talk and see, is this valid? If not, then check it out. C stands for control. A lot of times when we are feeling stressed and anxious, we want to control everything, and really we can't. So it's like giving up the control and just being like, just let it go. It will be taken care of. It will be handled. You can't control every outcome. And then A stands for attention shift. So if you're just focusing on the negative aspects, that means to notice that and then shift it. Move from problem to the solution. There was a talk that had to do with postpartum healing, depression, and so on. I learned a lot. Now, I'm not a mom. I am a special ed teacher, so I do sometimes say like, oh yeah, I have 100 kids. And so the takeaway that I got out of that was is that we should not mom shame. We shouldn't shame people at all, you know, like back in the day, they said, you know, when we were hunter-gatherers or living in tribes, we really helped each other out, and a woman needs 4 to 6 weeks to heal, and that includes sleep. And a lot of times, you know, tribes back in the day would help out with making sure the mom had what she needed to heal, because it takes a lot to heal from that. And then, you know, it's hard because nowadays not everybody has a tribe. Sometimes it's just you and your kid, and it's really hard. And it's just, you know, everybody's doing their best, and there's no need to be like, hey, you're a bad mom. I mean, like, if you're genuinely doing something to hurt children, I mean, that's not cool. But I mean, if you're trying your best and maybe your kid went to sleep at 7:30 instead of 7, well, you know what, we're all trying to do our best, and you know, let's not, instead of trying to tell people what to do, maybe we should just try to help each other. So that was a nice takeaway. From the panel that had to do with longevity, there was a lady there that said, and I think she was a doctor, I only caught the tail end of it, so I didn't get to hear her introduction, but what she said is you need 3 bones. You need a wish bone, so you always dream big. You need a funny bone, so that you can have fun and enjoy life. And you need a backbone, so that you can be strong and make your dreams a reality. So I thought that was really cool. So the last panel was what she called a fireside chat. So it was with Gwyneth Paltrow, and at first they had Janet Mock, and then later on they had Meg Ryan. Now, I've never heard of Janet Mock before, although she's been producing shows and writing and so on. She was very well spoken, and what I really enjoyed about her talk was that she said, because she's a transgender woman, she was talking about how sometimes a lot of people can tell you, do this, do that, you should be this, you should do this with your life, blah, 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 right? And what was really cool was that she was saying, like, make the voice inside of you that is speaking your inner truth. If it is saying yes while everybody's telling you no, follow the yes. And I've always tried to live that way too. If my inner self is saying go this route, even though it makes no sense, that's the route I'm gonna take. So all in all, I had a fun time. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the great food, being pampered, and just meeting new and interesting people, and just having a great time. So that was a fun event, and I recommend that if you know, just try it out once. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but you don't know until you try it. So why not? So thanks for watching.
So don't forget to hit like and subscribe.